Here's a quick news break with yours truly, Mr. Taliaferro. Now, I'm going to assume that 50 Cent has Pop Smoke's blessing before I start this video. That's my assumption. I don't know that to be true or not. But 50 Cent looks like he wants to continue the legacy of Pop Smoke, who was killed a couple weeks ago in a seemingly just a terrible hit. Pop Smoke and a few of his homies were in the Hollywood Hills in California. They were celebrating a new album, doing a little bit of press on the West Coast. In this Airbnb, somebody just ran up into the spot and shot and killed only Pop Smoke. Details on this heinous murder still remain scarce. There's not a lot of that's come out. The family's asked around. Friends are asking around. His homies have been questioned, but still not a lot of details. As a matter of fact, according to law enforcement officials on the West Coast, they're saying this has just been a tough case because they don't know if this came from the West Coast or was this someone from the East Coast they didn't like him. They're having a hard time putting together stories. They're saying even Pop Smoke's homies, their stories are not cooperating with each other. So someone's telling stories, somebody's trying to cover up something. It's just a lot going on right now, which leaves a murder case unsolved and doesn't even have a lot of good leads right now, according to LAPD. Looks like 50 Cent wants to continue the legacy of a guy who looked up to 50. And if you watch any Pop Smoke interview, he always said 50 Cent was his favorite rapper. I'm not gonna say he sounded like 50, but even though his style, the way he went about carrying himself, hell, he even went and did his own version of Minute Man. Like this dude loved him some 50 Cent. So 50 Cent got on social media yesterday and said, I'm gonna continue this young man's legacy, try to put some money into his family's pockets right now. He said, I'm on the move listening to Pop Smoke's album, and I decided I'm going to executive produce and finish his album for him. He did have another project on the way, and looks like 50 Cent's going to take it upon himself to do the album, produce it and everything like that. Probably drop a verse or two on it. 50 said, tell Roddy Ricch I'm looking for him. I need him on the album. And then Roddy Ricch did say he's going to do the verse. So now 50's using his recruiting mechanism to get Drake on the album as well. And he's even shooting a chopper shot at Chris Brown to try to get him on the album also. So 50 Cent's going to finish this album for Pop Smoke. Like I said, a very sad situation all around. Details remain scarce on just what the heck happened. Who had it in for Pop Smoke? I don't know if this one will ever be solved. Just to be real with you, it sucks. It's sad. It's unfortunate. This kid had all the talent in the world. But with the family's blessing, I think what 50 Cent is doing, what he's doing is dope. If he has the family's blessing to go forward with this album. I'm not sure if they're even in that space right now to even think about music. It still seems a little too soon to be talking about music right now, as there's a family still grieving and mourning the loss of not just a breadwinner, but a son, a brother, just a lot of things right now. So if the family is giving this man his blessing to do this, I'm all for it. I love to see big homies like 50 step up. I know a lot of people out there are going to say he should have been this homie to Pop while he was alive. He could have saved his life. Number one, 50 Cent doesn't seem to be the greatest guy for advice on beef, but to give 50 Cent credit, he seemingly moved correctly over the last 15 years. He talks a lot of crap and still talks crap on the internet. You can look at that either way. He's also been shot 9 times, but also 50 did have conversations with Pop Smoke. They did talk and give game, but there's only so much you can do to an artist who's feeling himself and thinks he's the ish, right? So that's tough. It's a quick news break with yours truly. Are you here for a produced album from 50 Cent with a little bit of probably some new features for Pop Smoke's album, some verses that they got left over? Are you here for it? Let me know in the comment box below. I'm out. I came from nothing, but I want everything God has for me. I interview celebrities. I talk sports. I still represent the culture.
I got the kids, they tuned in.
We locked in right now,
Mr. Taliaferro.
Taliaferro.
Shout out to Mr. Taliaferro.
You're watching Mr. Taliaferro TV.
Mr. Taliaferro TV.